Hey, Onion here, back with my playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Online. We are still in patch 3.4. We're on the third quest of Soul Surrender 3.4. All text to audio, so we can enjoy the story without having to read, and we get through it a little bit better and comprehend a lot more than what we have been able to in the past. This is a purpose for dyslexia and people with bad eyesight that haven't been able to enjoy the story. I hope more than me, people are getting something out of this. All right, thanks, here we go.
Forgive me, this is neither the time nor the place for idle introspection. The knights can apprise Lord Edmond of our success, and we the Lord Commander. More importantly, I should like to see if my sister's condition has improved. You may take a moment for yourself if you wish. I will be at the congregation.
It brings me joy to see you safely return to us, Onion. What news from Zelfatol? Then we were not too late. On behalf of Ishgard, I offer you my deepest thanks. As for we who remained behind, Mistress Y'shtola has been tending to Mistress Alisaie in your absence, and I am pleased to report that she has regained consciousness. I imagine you have many questions, especially given your recent encounter with the Warriors of Darkness. I know I do. Come, let me show you to her room. Do not worry, her condition is much improved. She is a resilient one, much like her brother.
Alisaie, how are you feeling?
Well enough, brother. Thanks to the kindness of our hosts. They told me you had departed for Zelfatol while I was still abed. I slept much better knowing that. Thank you.
I take it your mission was a success.
As if we needed any further confirmation that they are in league with the Ascians. But to save another world? I think not.
I too thought his story fanciful at first. But it is possible there may be a kernel of truth in all of this. At the very least, none of his claims contradict the word's account.
You were following these people, Alisaie. Why?
During my travels, I had oft enjoyed tales of the Scions and their exploits. But after a time, I began to hear whispers of a gifted and theretofore unknown band of adventurers. Adventurers who had supposedly sworn to travel the realm slaying primals in the Scion's stead.
The Warriors of Darkness. And in the course of investigating these rumors, you stumbled upon the Ascians' involvement.
Yes, exactly.
Forgive me, but if these Warriors of Darkness mean to bring about another calamity, to what end do they hunt primals?
To prompt an escalation. To deepen the beast tribe's feelings of helplessness and despair, and thereby drive them to summon ever more powerful gods. And lest we forget, these events do not occur in isolation. With their patron deities being slain left and right, the news of man's victory over Nidhogg must surely have sown panic in the minds of the beastmen. 'Tis no wonder they wish to defend themselves.
Power answered with greater power, death with more death. A vicious cycle fueled by fear and hatred. I know it's like all too well.
Indeed. The Ascians sow discord and desperation, and the Warriors of Darkness reap the harvest. And so it continues. Yet that is not the extent of their ambitions. The Ascian himself observed that once the powerless realize that the old gods have failed them, they will have little recourse but to look to a new one.
We cannot let that happen.
It should come as no surprise, but Alisaie and I have uncovered evidence that the Ascians have been manipulating certain parties to ensure that a constant stream of crystals flows into the hands of the beast tribes. If we sever these supply lines, we should at least be able to slow the escalation.
Agreed. Kral and I shall journey to Zelphatol and learn what we can of the Ixal's source.
Then I, for my part, pledge to lead a similar investigation into the origin of the Nath supply.
Sir Emmerich?
As a member of the Eorzean Alliance, Ishgard is honor-bound to play an active role in maintaining the security of the realm. You might also say that I have some personal motivation, given the Ascians' dealings with my father. However, I make no secret of the fact that my knowledge of primal beings is scant at best. As such, I should be most grateful if one of your order were to assist me.
Allow me, Sir Emmerich. I have dealt with the Nath before.
Let us consult with Orianja then. Given his dedication to the study of primal beings, I should be surprised if he could not tell us something of value.
Allow me to accompany you, brother. And before you think to refuse, know that I am not the girl I once was. I shall not be a burden. You have my word.
But Alize, you... You are more than welcome. After all, it was you who set us upon this path.
Wait a minute. I'm afraid I can't allow you to leave just yet. Not until you try on the new outfit I prepared for you.
Would I be right in assuming that you have not spoken with my sister since one of the memorial services, was it? By the 12, it seems a lifetime ago. I should like to think we have both grown since then.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. Right, then. Shall we be off?
Tataru never ceases to impress. Though, for a moment, I feared she might furnish you with an identical outfit.
Praise the 12, she did not. Mother and father were rather too fond of making us wear matching clothes. Do you remember that time at the studio when that girl of yours crept up behind me in the hall and whispered?
Sister, please. She was not my, ahem, can we not have this conversation in front of the Warrior of Light?
So be it. Another time, perhaps. It is an honor, Onion. I realize we are barely acquainted, but having heard so much about you, it hardly feels that way.
New garments aside, I must say that you seem different, more resolute than when last we met. You have the look of a woman who is ready to fight for the future of Eorzea.
To the extent of my abilities, perhaps, but I have no delusions of grandeur. Nor will I pretend to have found myself or any such thing. I am here today because I would regret it if I weren't. That is all.
Fair enough. Let us depart for the Waking Sands, then, and see if Orianje can be of assistance. Orianje, apologies for calling upon you unannounced.
Why, Master Alphino? Would that the scholar had seen fit to grant me knowledge of thy coming. What bringeth thee and thine here this day?
The warriors of darkness have returned. Pray allow us to explain.
I too have heard tales in recent days of primal beings rising up only to be cast down by forces unknown. Alas, as thou didst observe, this serveth but to spur the beast tribes to pursue their goals with redoubled fervor.
We have two objectives at this time, to identify and remove the source of the beast tribe's crystals, and to take direct action to prevent any further summoning rituals from reaching completion. The second is easier said than done, of course. While we were fortunate enough to learn of the Ixal's plans before they came to fruition, I should be surprised if the Warriors of Darkness and the Asians did not have similar designs elsewhere of which we have no knowledge.
Thou wert wise to come hither, for this very day did I receive tidings most troubling from across the Strait of Mrolthur. Ogamarus stirreth, and there are whispers that the Lord of Crags neareth his return. Mere rumors, mark thou, but in light of thine own discoveries, thou canst ill afford to turn a deaf ear to their claims.
Aye, we must ascertain the truth of the matter for ourselves. Let us consult with the Maelstrom forces stationed at Camp Overlook, Onion. Thank you for your counsel, Orianjay. Pray inform us should you learn aught else.
I shall.
If I may, brother, Orianjay, is there anything else you would like to say?
Alize?
If not, then never mind. I only ask because you are normally rather more verbose. Nothing to add? Very well. Ere we depart, I wish to make a request. The Warriors of Darkness spoke of how the Arda had the power to break down the barriers between planes, that our worlds might be rejoined. I would ask that you research this for us. Being nowhere near as well read as you, I'm sure I wouldn't know where to begin. That said, I have heard tell of a promising tome, the Duran Oracles. Mayhap you could start there.
By thy leave.
Camp Overlook, was it? Very well.
Seven hells, at this rate, I'll have to appeal to Maelstrom Command for reinforcements. Whatever it is, we don't want any. Well, fancy that. Just when my kobold problems look like coming to a head, the scions of the Seventh Dawn turn up, itching to pitch in. Bloody brilliant timing is what it is. Right, then, let's get to it. So our friendly neighbors in Yumaro have got much more aggressive of late, just as you said. Matter of fact, our scout spotted one sniffing about the stores just now, likely looking to make off with an armful of crystals. I'll be damned if I'm about to let that happen. Lend a hand and help us search the camp for the little bugger, would you?
Our Maelstrom friends seem notably more agitated than when first we arrived. Do you happen to know why that might be? A kobold in the camp, you say? That would appear to corroborate Orianjay's information, yes. But to be so reckless as to infiltrate a Maelstrom camp and draw attention to their efforts is passing strange. Well, there will be time to think on this later. For the present, we must do everything in our power to prevent Titan summoning, and that means finding and questioning this kobold.
Stay back. Away, far, back. I'm not a. Gah, it's no use. Pointless, hopeless, no use. Please, don't hurt me. I only wish to talk. Yes, just talk. I. Gah? This was a stupid plan. Stupid. But, if I tell no one, then everyone will. Gah, she found me again. What to do. I come in peace, only to talk. Speak, say, talk. So please, do not hurt me.
So this is our wily kobold infiltrator, is it? No wonder the soldiers were on edge. He could very well give one a bruised knee.
Huzzah, we've got him. Fine work, science. So, little one, thought you could sneak into my camp, did you? Plotting to steal my crystals, were you?
No. I came to talk. To ask for help. But when your soldiers saw me, they drew their weapons and shouted, and I.
Now, let us all take a deep breath and discuss this like civilized individuals. What is your name, child?
Pikmin Gabu of the 620th Order. At least, I will be a Pikmin, one day.
Well met, Gabu. I am Alphino, and this is my sister Alize. Onion, the woman who found you, is our friend. And now that you know our names, we can be friends too. Now, Commander Bloyudin here thinks you wanted to take his crystals, Gabu, but you said you came to ask for help. Why to us and not to your own people? What happened, Gabu? Can you tell us?
No one is going to hurt you, all right? Not while we're here. I promise.
The Patriarch, the Patriarch is going to summon the Great Father again, and you have to stop him. Beat him, fight him, stop him. Gabu's parents said they didn't want it, along with many others. But the Patriarch wouldn't listen. He was so angry, raging, fuming, angry. He said that if they didn't have iron in their hearts, they would serve as coke for the furnace. And then the guards took my parents and the others away, and I haven't seen any of them since.
Coke for the furnace?
I did not want to believe it, but I have heard tales of foci fashioned from the bones of beastmen, which worshippers use in their rituals, hoping to summon more powerful incarnations of their gods.
By the 12. That is sickening.
No one listens to Gabu, no matter how much he cries, pleads, begs, cries. They do not listen, only talk about punishing the overdwellers and praising the Great Father. Gabu loves the Great Father, but he loves his parents too. So please, help Gabu stop the Patriarch and save his parents.
Commander, advise Maelstrom Command that Titan summoning is imminent. Should the worst come to the worst, we will require their support. Time being of the essence, we three will attempt to infiltrate the Kobold stronghold, secure their crystals, and free the prisoners.
Well, if you're sure. You'll forgive me if I don't seem optimistic. We'll make ready, just in case.
I have faith that we may yet stop the ritual. We would surely have detected the associated etheric disturbance had Titan manifested already. But I cannot speak for the prisoners. 12 have mercy. That they would even contemplate sacrificing their own flesh and blood, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers. Time is of the essence. We must see what else Gabu knows and formulate a plan without further delay.
I heard Great Father Titan loves crystals. Cherishes, covets, loves them, and if we gather enough, he will return. That's why the Patriarch told everyone to go forth and gather them. So I was thinking, if we take all the crystals away, maybe the Great Father won't come.
Very good, Gabu. I was just thinking the same thing. Do you know where these crystals are stored?
I know. Oh. Several spots, each defended by a different order. Gabu wanted to steal them, but he was too afraid to go alone. Yes, too afraid to go alone, but together we can take them away and hide them. Come, Gabu will lead you to the first cache. Quickly, E.
Do you have them all? Good. Lead on, Gabu.
This way.
Time is short. If you have the crystals, we should move on to the next cache. Did you hear me, brother?
Aye, it's just that. I am quite certain that crate once bore Ishgardian seals. Someone took great pains to remove all traces, but enough remains to make out the pattern. See for yourself. I struggle to imagine kobolds traveling to Kurthus to obtain crystals, much less bothering to conceal their origins. I suspect these crystals were smuggled into Vilbrand by another party, most likely a pawn of the Asians, as Thancred speculated.
I don't understand. Who are the Asians? Do they worship Great Father Titan too?
Never you mind about that. As Alizé said, we do not have a lot of time. Can you lead us to the next cache, Gabu?
Yes, of course. Gabu knows the way. This next one is the last and is very large. Very big, very huge, very large.
Though you cast about for a time, you see no sign of the crystals.
Confound it. What about you, Onion? Any luck?
Nothing. But this cannot be. Gabu saw them. Spied, spotted, saw.
Think, brother, think. They must have moved them, yes? The question is, where to, and why?
Within Ogamuro, where they summoned Titan once before and mean to do so again. It is the only explanation.
What about mother and father and the others? We have to help them.
And we will, Gabu, we will. Stay calm, we still have time.
They have yet to call for the remaining crates, yes? If they had, then they would have found the other caches empty and sounded the alarm. Nevertheless, I believe the time for stealth has passed. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals. There is no other way to prevent Titan summoning. But first, give me your crystals, that I might deliver them into Commander Bloedon's custody. We dare not take them into the bowels of the mountain. The crystals, Onion, if you would be so kind. Thank you. I shall deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Commander Bloedon on the situation. Pray go on ahead. As I recall, there is an aetherite within the Yumuro mines that should deliver you to the navel. Gabu doubtless knows the way. Wait for me there, I shall rejoin you anon.
Strange, I would have thought you eager to remain in the thick of the action. But if this is what you would prefer, then Godspeed, brother.
This way, this way.
Ah. I take it this is the aetherite we seek? Right then, as soon as Alphino arrives, we go. I trust you're feeling suitably heroic, Onion, there's no telling what sort of resistance we'll face in there.
Quickly, you clods. Briskly, swiftly, quickly. I will not suffer any further delays.
Lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day.
Overdwellers? Here? But how did you?
Where are my parents, Patriarch? Where are they? Mother? Father?
Coke for the furnace? You monster. How could you?
Aye. We are but servants of the Lord of Crags. We are his, that he may drink of our blood and partake of our flesh, that he might draw upon the strength of his children and defend them from the tyranny of the overdwellers.
No, Alize. Not yet. I understand, Patriarch. I do. Your fear, your anger, your hate. You would do anything to protect your people, anything to deliver them from despair. Whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never do so again. But in your single-minded pursuit of this objective, you have brought suffering on your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody course. Cease your attempts to summon your god, and work with us together, to build a lasting peace.
Another peace to be abandoned at the overdwellers' convenience. Oathbreakers, all of you. Liars, betrayers, oathbreakers. You take and you take and you take, and when you have had your fill, you sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last, until you grow hungry again. And when we dare to defend ourselves, you declare that this beast tribe cannot be suffered to live. That our God drains the land of ether, and brings naught but suffering, death, destruction, suffering upon us all. I will hear no more lies from you and yours, overdweller. You've ruined your own lands, you'll not ruin ours.
I said I'd come for you, and I did. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Say something, please. 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 Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wacky you up.
Seven hells.
I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
Alphino.
Leave him to me. We must away. By the 12, how could I be so foolish? I should have known better than to let Gabu accompany us given what we were like to find. His anguish and despair have served to birth a primal, just as surely as would the supplications of the faithful. Worse, being born of such tumultuous emotion, this incarnation of Titan seems incapable of naught but violence. If we have one cause for optimism, it is that while many crystals were present, they represented but a fraction of the quantity intended for the summoning ritual, meaning that Titan must be far weaker than planned. Be that as it may, he is yet a primal, and the longer we leave him to bleed the land of ether, the stronger he will grow. And should Titan be permitted to leave Ogamuro, more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops, and the cycle will continue. Onion, you know what must be done. Will you face the Lord of Crags once more? Thank you, my friend. Alize and I will tend to Gabu. When you have finished with the primal, look for us in Camp Overlook. We will be expecting you.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I said I'd come. I said I'd come. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Mother. Father. I can't find you. Wa'aki Yu'ula. Why? 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 Hi, why? Where are you? Where are you?
Ah, there she is. Did I not tell you she would return safe and sound? The deed is done, then? Titan is no more. Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the Primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case,
He must be put to death, like any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes?
you have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Sale's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgard's peace.
We can but watch, wait, and pray.
There is not to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Bloyeden of Titan's demise. For example, you may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him?
Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it. But not half as glad as my men'll be, believe you me, regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly. A primal's a primal. And there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like, we were all prepared to do our part. But we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's bane.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. So quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled grandfather's words to my father, years ago before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard. We had no clear memories of our life in the hinterlands, having returned to the motherland as infants. Nevertheless, I am quite familiar with Master Matoya, as is every Charlayan. I should like to speak with her someday. 'Twould not surprise me if Alphino's recent maturation was at least somewhat due to her sage guidance. I would never tell him this, of course, but there have been moments when I've caught myself thinking of him as an elder brother. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on. For this.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardor belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too-delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Alright, I'm gonna pause here. We only got 2.5 left to go. That'll be part 3 in 3.4. See you in a bit.